am I remembering?
We kicked the bucket again and... Wait, again?
I see the two of you have retained some recollection as well this time.
This time? What are you saying?
Do you know what's going on?
The very thought of it is so absurd that it borders on comical. From what I can gather, we've all met our ends twice now. Actually, it would be thrice for me if you include that incident from the other day.
We met our ends? Are you telling me all those visions and memories are real?
What's the deal with that?
The mechanics are beyond me, but I suspect the cause is right there in your pocket.
The Genesis Aggie gave us, left behind by Professor Epstein.
While I won't pretend to know all the details, those devices were inextricably linked to a number of high-profile cases Van and his team solved last year.
We did hear that they could cause all sorts of crazy things to happen. But turning back time, that's just too hard to swallow.
I couldn't agree more, but it's the only viable explanation.
Okay, let's assume those memories are real. Does that mean we went back into the past? Or are we just getting a glimpse of our futures? Not that we can actually tell one way or another.
Whichever it is, I never would have expected it in my wildest dreams. Or nightmares. And it's making my head hurt all over again.
At least now we know just how dangerous the condemned sector truly is. What will you do now? You're free to wash your hands of this if you'd like. In fact, I'd recommend it. Substitute Spriggans or not, the last thing I want is to put your young lives at risk.
That's nice of you to say, but we're already in too deep to back out now. Even if we did, you'd just be walking into your grave. That doesn't sit right with me.
Besides, we can't just pretend we aren't curious about what's going on with that place. S and I are sticking to you like glue, Elaine. Ride together, die together.
I see. Thanks, you two.
What we need is a game plan. I've already croaked enough to last me a lifetime.
We can't bank on another freak phenomenon bailing us out either. Not when we don't know what triggers them. It'd be smartest to assume that there's no coming back from our next death.
A game plan, huh? To be honest, I'm this close to admitting defeat. If bringing Jin along wasn't enough, what more can we do?
My memory's a little hazy, but weren't there a buttload of enemies that kept reviving over and over? We could call in backup till we're blue in the face, and it still wouldn't do squat against those stinking cheaters.
Right. Even if we do contact Jin again, he can't be our only countermeasure.
I'm just thinking out loud, but it's hard to imagine an orbital terminal that big being down here for very long. Maybe this is a reach, but technically, the condemned sector is still part of the Blacklight district. Why don't we try asking the people around here if they know anything about it?
It's a start. Let's canvass the area and see what we can learn.
Sure, not like I can drum up any better ideas.
I doubt the people around here will be very amenable to a bracer. But nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Sweet goddess! What's the matter? Throwing in the towel already? Mercy!
Maybe we should do a 180 on this.
Yeah, I've got second thoughts.
I know that voice.
Quit pissing yourself and spit it out!
I already told you! I don't know!
That's funny. You said yourself that nothing goes down in the Blacklight District without you catching wind of it. I trash your little scrap heap there. You start talking. That's the way this works.
Okay, maybe I was stretching the truth a little. But I swear, I've got nothing on this guy you're after. That probably means he never came here to begin with. If I had to guess, I mean.
Like hell he didn't. Following his tracks led me right here. Forget it. Let's change the subject. There's this computer terminal. Massive. Pitch black. You see it around anywhere?
Not that I remember. Sir?
Wasting my time. Guess I'll be taking this mirror as compensation after all.
But that wasn't part of the deal!
I anteed up the same amount. Or did you want to start something about it?
No, sir. It's all yours.
Let's see. I'll just go and add the rest of my winnings to the pot. Might as well use it to find some contenders the way he did. Listen up! I'm taking on all comers. Beat me, and I'll hand over every last mirror I got here. But if I win, you gotta tell me whatever I wanna know. Hell, I'll even let you gang up on me. Nothing like a little handicap to turn up the heat. Come on! Ain't anyone got the guts to step up?
Consider your challenge accepted.
Hold on. You can't be serious about this.
Isn't Shades over there one of the Society's enforcers? We're basically asking to get stomped.
Well, if it isn't Beauty's blade, you really think you can take me?
Frankly, I wouldn't bet on myself if this were a duel. But with these two lending a hand, I'm fairly confident we can knock you down a peg.
And now she's talking trash.
She's more of a daredevil than I thought. Either that or just bloodthirsty.
Smart mouth you got there, girlie. These brats don't look too wet behind the ears, but getting help from kids, that's just desperate.
So you're underestimating us. Not that it's any skin off our backs.
It's a lot less work for us if you don't see it coming.
There's only one way to find out how this bout will go.
Fine by me. Let's see you walk the walk. Don't disappoint me now. So this is where it got off to.
It's just as I remember.
Yeah, talk about deja vu.
So, when do we get to the fun part?
Luckily for you, it's already begun. Here they come!
Now this is more like it! What's the big idea? Don't tell me that's all there is to it!
Much the opposite. This is where things pick up.
So many unexpected guests. I'm surprised you even managed to locate this place.
That voice again.
Doesn't sound like she knows time got rewound, though. Oh well, it makes no difference. After all, this is the end of the line for you. Now rise, my servants, as many times as it takes. Don't stop until you've left no survivors!
It's exactly the same as before.
So that's your game, huh? I've got your number.
Did you catch on to something?
Just watch and see. Eat this!
That won't work! They'll just... Huh?
He's not letting up even after they've reverted.
And at full force, too.
I hope that guy wasn't too attached to his skeleton. What's wrong? Rise up and fight! It can't be!
No wonder Jin let you down. That panty waste doesn't have it in him to finish the job. Full body beatdowns are what fists were made for!
But those men, will they be all right?
Now, relax. I didn't kill them. They're just in for a nice long stint at the hospital.
What a brute! Do you have no heart?
That's rich. Coming from the one who turned these patsies into monsters before sicking them on us. I'm just setting them free. Hell, they ought to be thanking me.
This guy's got villain oozing out of his pores.
But he's definitely whittling them down.
You'll pay for this! Prepare to be crushed like the bug you are!
Shit! Got ya!
Losing your touch, Walter? You left your six wide open there.
Who invited your ass?
Jin! You came just in time.
Guess the girlie there just answered my question. I figured you'd show one way or another. Wasn't planning on leaving you any of the action, though.
Sounds to me like you bit off more than you could chew.
Always gotta have the last word. How about I start by smashing your bones in?
You can try all you like after we take care of these guys.
This one's different from the others. And not just in size.
Yeah! We're gonna need all hands on deck!
Bring it on! I'll leave you 6 Sarge under!
Gotta make sure I don't slip up in front of the kids.
It all comes down to this. Don't hold anything back. We prevailed. For now, at least.
Yeah, he could just as easily come right back. Nadia, how's the analysis coming?
All done. Your hunch was spot on, S. First things first, though. That black aurora is what's turning those guys into monsters. We've gotta bust it up, stat!
Walter, you handle the other side.
I don't take orders from you, jackass. Either keep up with me or piss off!
Whoa, there's no fixing that up.
For all their bickering, they're pretty in tune with each other. Anyway, that should give us some room to breathe.
Yes, the worst of it is over now.
No. No, 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 no! That black and blue eyesore and his hollow were finally out of the picture! This was supposed to be our golden opportunity! I don't believe this! How barbaric can you get?
You were there back then, too.
A red fairy. I remember Van telling us about this.
Yeah, but we've never seen her in person till now.
So you're the mystery voice we heard.
Ain't that a hoot?
We have a few new faces, I suppose that means another introduction is in order. You may address me as Carmine Altera, the Grendel Zolga's personal hollow. Consider this a reward for all the trouble you've given me. Not everyone gets the privilege of feasting their eyes on a picture of grace like myself.
Grendel Zolga. That must be the Crimson Beast everybody's been talking about.
If you're his hollow, does that make you the same as Mare?
I'll thank you not to mention that vile name in my presence. Just the sound of it grates on my ears. In any event, while I was fortunate enough to recover the data in time, the Demi-Grendel assembly line I labored over is entirely ruined now.
Demi-Grendel?
Is that what you call those shadow monsters?
Yes, you can think of them as unsuccessful Grendels. They can't compare with the genuine article, but they suffice as foot soldiers. I went to great pains putting that system together, which makes you destroying it all the more galling.
So that's what the big ol' sucker was for.
To be more precise, I was using the Black Aurora as a conduit to borrow processing capacity from Edith's Orbital network. That other obnoxious excuse for a hollow could never have achieved something this complex on her own. I trust it's clear which of us is more capable. Not to mention, elegant.
Where did you get the power to pull this off?
Swin?
Excuse me? All of this was my own doing. I call bunk on that. You swiped that power from a little girl, one we happen to know very well.
This girl you're referring to. Could it be...
It's all starting to come together. She was a key player in sorting out that whole retributive tower business, right?
Oh yeah, I heard about that from the professor.
So all of us are on the same page. I'll cut right to the chase then. Lapis has fallen into a coma.
She has?
We just found her one day, all cold and lifeless, like a doll. It was as if an important part of her had been stolen away. You would accuse me of robbing power from a doll? Ludicrous. The evidence doesn't lie. All those computational sources you used, the Elysium code was one of them. Elysium.
Nadia analyzed the data while we were fending off your minions. It's true that Elysium's core systems were wiped out without a trace. But the programming language used to build it, the Elysium code, survived. Thing is, it can't be found on the OrbitalNet, and our friend's the only one who can operate it.
Yeah. So if you manage to use the code, That makes you a dirty thief. I am Carmine Altera, a one-of-a-kind hollow of splendor and dignity. Say what you will. This power came from me and me alone. Huh? But that would mean...
There's obviously a connection here. But maybe our initial assumption was off.
Enough of this! Just talking with you people has me on my last nerve. I'm done here. Wait!
Nadia!
That's...
The Grendel Zolga!
I like the look of this one.
Out of the way! We've still got questions for her.
No!
Crap!
Swin. Nadia.
Turning tail, huh? And here I was hoping to beat a few answers out of them myself. Well, whatever. That's all the charity you're getting from me. Later, chumps.
Never thought I'd see the day he lent me a hand instead of balling it up into a fist.
I apologize. It was our choice to accept help from a member of the Society.
Hey, you know what they say, all's well that ends well. Would have been dicier if I went at it alone. That Crimson Grendel's no joke, though. Makes my skin crawl like nothing I've ever seen.
We've rooted out the source of the network disruptions and foiled a hostile plot, if only for a time. Our work is complete. At least, as far as the request is concerned.
No complaints here. That wraps up another 4 SPG. I'd say we're doing pretty well at this substitute Spriggan thing.
Right? Not to toot my own horn, but I really pulled out the stops this time. Plus, now we finally have a lead on what we've been looking for.
Yeah. All that's left is to follow it.
You said it. We got this, S.
They sure make a dependable duo, huh?
That they do. Job well done, both of you.